I'm about to share with you, which includes the President of the Council, Alderwoman DeMarb, the Council President Pro Tem, Maurice Cheeks, and Alderman Ahrens, Balda, Clear, Fair, Schmidt, and Skidmore. District Attorney Ozanne reviewed the facts and the law and reached a decision not to indict Madison police officer Matt Kenny in the death of Tony Robinson. This is an outcome that many did not want. It is an outcome that many in our community support. Regardless of our views, we all share a common bond of sadness over Tony's death, and we share hope for the future for all Madisonians, knowing that we have the will and the capability to make this the best city for all. Now, there will be protests. We call on those who march and express themselves to continue to exercise their rights peacefully. Likewise, dedicated Madison police officers have handled the marches and demonstrations since Tony Robinson's death with the utmost professionalism and care. We know that that will continue. As a reminder, if one chooses to engage in civil disobedience and violates the law, there must be an acceptance of arrest. That means arrested individuals are not to resist, and just as importantly, no one is to interfere with another person's arrest. The City of Madison will continue to provide the greatest latitude in allowing for political expression, but illegal acts which jeopardize public safety, such as impeding ambulances and fire trucks, will not be tolerated. District Attorney Ozanne must be recognized for his devotion to our community and to the legal profession he serves, and we must honor that dedication to truth and justice. Otherwise, we will not be up to the challenge to understand, based on factual information, where change is needed and when resources should be directed to prevent another tragedy. Our horizon must be broader than law enforcement. We owe it to the memory of Tony Robinson, to his family, and to our community to make changes that make Madison a just and equitable city. We must rebuild trust where it has been lost, increase opportunities for every resident of Madison, and invest in initiatives that promote equity and social justice. The District Attorney's decision closes one chapter in this tragedy, but it will not be the last word. Thank you. Any questions? Got time for a couple if you want.
Mayor, why do you think the protests here have been peaceful as opposed to somewhere like Ferguson? What's different about Madison?
I'd be hard pressed to go through the description. I think part of it is the nature of social and economic concerns within the community that we've addressed prior to this incident. I think part of it is the training and the nature of police work in our communities. Part of it might have been just luck.
How do street protests resonate with you?
Well, as somebody who's got a little experience in the area, there's rules of engagement. And I think it's very important, going back to what inspired us, which was the work of Dr. King, to understand that while protesting, there are certain responsibilities to the larger community and responsibilities to other protesters. And that means that there's always a challenge, and there's been a challenge for decades, not just in this country, but all over the world, where occasionally you get some folks who use the larger cover of the committed nonviolent protesters to engage in activity which poses a danger to the entire community. And that is something where we need to be constantly vigilant.
You said there was a bit of luck involved? In what way?
Because I can't explain it all. Luck always enters into these things.
Now, what about blocking streets? Are protesters going to be allowed to continue to block streets?
It depends on the circumstances, it depends on the street, depends on the time of day. Depends upon whether or not we've got an ambulance or an emergency vehicle that needs to get through.
What will be taking place in the coming weeks with city leaders kind of in response to some of the issues and topics that have come up as a result of this case and this decision?
In 2013, Alderwoman DeMarb and some other members of the council introduced what was referred to as our equity initiative, which we've been working on now for several years. It's designed to address challenges in certain areas. How, for example, the city of Madison can work closer with the school district in achieving the highest academic standards for all of our students. How we can work on the issues of disparity in the criminal justice system. And I want to point out that the city's role in terms of police work is a very small part of that criminal justice system. And thirdly, what we can do in regards to economics and health, where we face some serious challenges. But I'm confident, I'm very confident, that we are going to make significant progress in these areas in the coming years, just as we have in the past year.
I talked to Alder Kemble about, she mentioned that it might be a possibility to expand the authority of the Police and Fire Commission through a referendum. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I'm going to have to indicate that I don't know where authority under statute lies that we can make that kind of a change, or any kind of change. I thought our authority was set by state statute.
You said that DA's decision closes one chapter but won't be the last word. What do you want to see the next chapter be in office?
I'd like to come back here in the near future, indicate that there's virtually no unemployment in the community, that everyone who wants a job is working at a viable job with a solid wage, that every kid in our public schools is advancing at advancing successfully at age-appropriate academic performance, and whatever their choices in life after they graduate, go to college, start an apprenticeship, take 6 months on a jaunt to South America or Europe or Asia with a backpack, is capable of doing it. That we've got sufficient resources to deal with all the challenges of mental health and substance abuse. I'm sure I can add a couple of more there. Anything else? If not, thank you all very much. Here today are President of the Council, Alderwoman Denise DeMarb, Paul Skidmore, Alderman Dave Ahrens. I don't think there's any other members of the council here. Thank you.